Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Of course you can see by the title. We are going to go through picked out of my collection today some brands and some suggestions for someone who's just sort of starting to get into the sort of fragrance hobby. You know, maybe they've had half a dozen fragrances in their life and I thought, well, I enjoy this, I'm going to explore a bit further. And these are sort of like your sort of baseline brands with sort of the pick or two of the baseline sort of fragrances to get yourself sort of acclimated with different styles and different concentrations and different types and all that sort of thing. Now of course I can't just go through every brand. I mean, most brands you could say, oh, what about this and this and this and this fragrance from there, and I mean you could start with that, and there's a lot, right? Point in take, I've got sort of 10 brands and a couple of, like a line or two from each, but things like Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, could recommend Dolce & Gabbana, say the original Pour Homme Eau de Toilette with the light blue. Two good options there. I haven't put this brand in, but a good one more for the youthful crowd, and this is Paco Rabanne. So you've got like the 1 million range, you've got the Invictus range, I've got like come out with the Victory, this one, the original Victory, and then I've got the 2000, I think it was a 2014 limited edition Aqua that came out. So I've got a couple. I have had a couple of the 1 million flankers before. I've got the original Pour Homme in the green bottle down there. So you know, I've got some from the brand, but apart from the original Pour Homme, a lot of them are really only towards the more youthful crowd and they're very sweet and that. So, but I haven't put them on the list. But as you can see, there's a lot of brands you could go through. Issey Miyake. You got the L'Eau d'Essai Pour Homme range. They do a ton. They do fresh, they do darker, they do in between, they do green, they do all sorts. And pointed question as well, like for Sacha you got the Dreamer, you've got the Eros line, it goes on and on and on. Okay, so there's lots of different brands. But if I was starting off, and this is me to you as a sort of learner, I would go with sort of majority of these brands. Some are like a cheaper brands that will get you going, some are more higher end of the designer. There's a niche brand in here, really high-end designer, medium range designers. They've got a mix of all sorts of things, so we'll go through them now. One brand that does a good range of bit of everything, and for the most part the fragrances ain't that bad. They do some really good bangers, not too many snoozers, or they do some in between. So if you've never had this one, I'd imagine a lot of people have, but if you've never had this one, and forget the bottle that I've got, it's just a limited edition bottle. Think of just the original fragrance, and this is Boss bottled. So the original Boss bottled Eau de Toilette from Hugo Boss. Oh, it's just a beautiful staple of a fragrance. This is has been a lot of people's staple, like every day, where they just wear it to death. They've had hundreds of bottles of their life, and you know, I do like the Hugo Boss range. I've got a few. I've got like the key Hugo Boss Man and so on, and I've got another Hugo Boss here, the Infinite one, really nice, sort of spicy on the top one. So but I would go with the sort of Hugo Boss line. It's probably the easiest one to get on with, and they're a decent price and not overly expensive. So next brand, I would say they're going like Paco Rabanne's lately. They used to be superior. One of the top brands up there with, like, in my opinion, like Dior, Chanel, that sort of thing at the time. Not so much lately, but get yourself onto the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male lineup. Excuse me. This is great lineup. They've got some for pretty much everybody. Old schools. They've got then the freshies. They've got the darker, very sweet, syrupy stuff, nightclubby type stuff. If you can, get the original. Even today's one isn't too bad. And start there, and then maybe sample some of the others in the line and see how you got on. But I really do enjoy the original Eau de Toilette. Okay, so do you like freshies, and do you want to try a lot of freshies from one brand which do freshies pretty well and they are very affordable? Well, you can't go wrong with Lacoste. Lacoste do some, they're all sort of average colognes, you know, but they're all quite different. Look at your Lacoste Live. You got Booster, which is more like a minty eucalyptus. You got Essential, which is just a straight sort of fresh citrusy sort of thing. You've got Lacoste Red, which is very red apple or green apple focused with a backbone of musk. Very nice, that one. You got this one, to go sort of blue freshy, very smooth scent, very nice. And then you got stuff from this brand which do you like green scents, sort of green, herbal, minty. Then you got the Match Point line from them. Really good brand if you like fresh colognes, which I do. Another one which is predominantly like freshies, more aquatic cut stuff, and it is Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio line. I would say try the original Acqua di Gio if you like that, or maybe you find it a little bit, you want something a little bit more involving, then go with the Parfum version that I've got here. So it's like the original, but it's a bit stronger, and it pushes a bit more off my skin. You get a lovely salty aquatic fresh smell. Out the shower fresh, but a bit salty aquatic. Beautiful stuff. Acqua di Gio the original, or the Eau de Parfum, but just try the line from Acqua di Gio, Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio. Really good and suggested. I've got a few other lines like He Classic and a few others, but I would suggest that one. This one, do you like sort of spicy and sweet? Then the Spice Bomb collection from Viktor and Rolf. They've got a long range, but one of the ones that I would recommend out of the Spice Bomb line is the original Eau de Toilette. I think that's probably the best one. And then you could also try the Extreme, which is the one I got here in the black bottle, gold band on it with Extreme on it. So this one, like I said, you spray it on, you get a sweet cinnamon, beautiful. Mix it like bergamot, it's nice and refreshing as well. Dries down with like a heavier spice, mixes with that cinnamon, and you still keep like a sweetness. This one, it's like that, but with a ton of like vanilla added into it. But both really nice. So if you're going to go with the Spice Bomb range, you're thinking you're going to try it, because there's quite a few of them, try the original and then try this one. I would then say, if you want a cheapie and a cheap line, then go with Mont Blanc Legend series. The Mont Blanc house, which is like fountain pens and ink and all that kind of stuff, and they do some fragrances. So this, the Legend, the original Legend, lovely scent, casual, everyday, a little bit sort of clean, slightly soapy, shower jelly kind of vibe to it, real nice, lavenderish. Then you've got like, there's a white one, I can't remember what that one's called. Then there's Flanco just come out, it's like the blue version, you know, and you've got nighttime versions which are a bit darker, richer. You've got a good range with this Mont Blanc Legend range. And so, and as soon as they come out within a few months, they're all dirt cheap. So try that range, they're really good scents for the money, in my opinion. So, do you want high-end? Similar to sort of Giorgio Armani and Dior. I haven't put Dior on here because I'm not the biggest fan of what Dior come out with. They're high quality and everything else, they just don't suit my sort of tastes generally. But this house does, and it's Chanel. So if you want to spend some money, but you want to sell classy and sophisticated, you want to up your game a little bit without going into niche, then I would say Chanel. And you've got like Chanel Allure Homme Eau de Toilette. Real nice, that one, easy to get on with. Everyone sort of likes that smell, and it is quite alluring. It's got a sexy type scent to it. If you're a bit older, Antaeus, if you like your classic style colognes, then you go with this one. Excuse me. And Paul Machour, which is more like you have to excuse me, more of a citrus soapy sort of, but with an old school vibe sort of tone to it. They've got a good range of stuff. They haven't got the biggest range for men, so if you think, oh, I'm going to collect for one house that does things classy and well, but haven't got too many for me to collect so I don't get overwhelmed, then Chanel's a good option. Okay, do you want to, I haven't got any cologne, well I have got colognes of theirs, I've got what, 4 or 5 of theirs, but from the house of Guerlain, so try Guerlain, one of the oldest perfume houses in the world. Try their Ideal Man, or Guerlain Homme Ideal, specifically the first one. They have a good range. They've got flankers and flankers of stuff, but the original Guerlain Homme Ideal EDT, I would say try that one. I've had numerous bottles of that. I think I've had 3 in its time that it's been out, and it's been a staple for mine for date nights and romantic nights and other type of nights. Staple for that. Trust me, women really enjoy that one. So if that's what you're looking for, you want to some of the sexy attractiveness to it, Guerlain Homme Ideal Eau de Toilette, give that a try. And that whole range is actually pretty good. They've got some flankers to try, so when you won't get too bored over a couple of years, you could literally buy a 50ml now and again and try some of the flankers. So do you want to dip into a sort of a niche house but not spend too much money? You can buy these from discounters quite often, and that is the Mancera range. They do everything, like everything, freshies, florals, rose ouds. You've got like this sweet stuff, you've got again fresh stuff. It's just a ton of things. Now the one I would recommend personally from the range is Cidrat Bossuet or Bossuet, whatever. That one, it's just good. It's just really good. They've got an intense one and all that. Don't bother, just go with the original. That one it's like citrusy and woody, but trust me, it smells fantastic. You'll get compliments all day with it. Beautiful stuff. But they do a range of all sorts. They've got like super sweet stuff with this one particularly. It's like a sweet, spicy, woody. It's Tonka Cola. Very nice. You got to be in the mood for it. But if you are, you're going to really enjoy that one. Same with all of them really. They are, again, when you start getting into niche, you've got to be in the mood for each one. But when you do, they're a bit more complex. This one of my favourites, Oud exclusive. And this one is, well, it's Oud, but in a sort of designer way, so it's not skanky or anything else. And there's a rose in this, so it's a rose Oud. But the rose in this is jammy, so it doesn't come off floral. It just comes off like a jam. It smells like jam, like a sweet jam, mixed in with the sort of woody aspect on this beautiful stuff. It doesn't push that much, but it lingers, and it smells divine. You've got to be dressed up with it. Personally, I love this one dressed up, but it smells it's got a sort of masculine edge to it, but classy to the top. So that's a really good line. And they've got hundreds of fragrances to choose from. And last, I'm going to say, this house I was never a fan of, ever. But lately, they've been coming out with some good stuff, and they've sort of come back on themselves and actually producing some good things. And that's Ralph Lauren. So I've got some here. You could try this line. the Ralph Lauren Ralph Club. I've got the Eau de Toilette here. The Eau de Parfum is supposed to be good, that'll come out first. But I've got the Eau de Toilette. This one, nice, easy to wear, it's smooth, clean, fresh. Just really nice and easy to wear, the Eau de Toilette. And then you've got the Polo range, the 67, that is, Polo 67. I just come out with the EDP version of this Eau de Toilette, so I wanted to try that. But this Eau de Toilette, similar, easy to wear, but a bit stronger. More on, stronger with like a lavender and herbals and spices and all sorts of things. It's a bit more complex than the last one, but really nice, still very easy to wear. A good casual everyday scent, and the price of these when they come out are expensive, but they'd soon drop, and you can get these at a good price, and I really do enjoy this one as well. So that's my list. Let me know what you think of the one I've chosen. I could have chosen there's the Yelp section, you can go with that. So these are Miyake, the 1881 range from Cerruti. There's tons of different things, but I thought I'd choose these and give somebody a good idea of what sort of brands to go with, and a couple of ideas. So let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, it would really help me out, and I'll see you again soon on the next one.